Hi, I'm Tony Pellegrino, obviously from GenRight Off Road. This video is to talk a little bit about what we're doing on the Terremoto in preparation for the second annual rally venture, which is coming up this second week in July. Obviously, we're going to start out with the normal nut and bolt check. We haven't done anything on this thing for over a year. We'll change the fluids. I just put on some fresh Falcon 38-inch MT tires with some brand new Raceline Monster 232 wheels. We've also just installed the next generation front bumper and winch tray. It's a lighter weight version. We're really trying to stay weight focused. We're adding more electronics to help us navigate this year. Last year was a real challenge, not knowing what the event organizer was going to throw at us. So you really got to be prepared to, run on the fly. Next, I'm adding an external antenna for the in-dash 8-inch Lowrance GPS we have. The internal antenna just couldn't keep up with what we needed last year, so we're adding an external one like we have on the race car. To support all that, we're adding more power outlets. So I'm adding power for each person in the vehicle. So there'll be 2.1 amp USB plugs for each person and 12-volt cigarette-style lighter plugs for each person so we can run all those electronics. Last year, we had trouble keeping everything charged based on how much power they were using to run all those apps. Next, I also piped in to the air conditioning system on this to help keep the iPad cool. It was working so hard in the dash last year that now I got this little tube that's actually feeding cool air to the back of the iPad. Also, what got too hot was the fuel pump. So we're changing from an external to an internal. We're going with the new Aeromotive dual Phantom in-tank pump. Super nice unit, very similar to what we run on the race car. That'll help keep it cooler. While we're making that change, we're also going to slip in and change from our 20-gallon fuel tank with a steel skid plate to our 25-gallon with an aluminum skid plate. Basically equaling out to be the same weight. Again, not wanting to add any more weight to the vehicle. Let's see, the other thing we're adding is a power tank. Last year we didn't really have any way to air things up, so I want to make sure we can air up, run power tools, whatever we need. We're going to be adding a spare tire with one of our aluminum swing out tire carriers. Last year we also had our alternator bearing went, and it went through the whole thing and just destroyed it. What saved us was a set of jumper cables and one of those little optional 12-volt jumper boxes with like a lithium battery in it. So I got that set up too. Just trying to, learn from what happened last year and figure out what we can do to head things off this year to get us to the finish line. We're also better prepared for weather this year. Last year there was an afternoon thunderstorm and everybody got wet. So because we're not running a top, I prefer it that way. We've got a hard top for it, but I'd rather not run a top. So we're going to be a little bit more prepared for weather. And then I'm going to be adding a spot tracker. So if all else fails, we can hit that. And then each person's also going to have a go bag. So that's going to be water, food, an emergency blanket, everything we need to get us through the night and or back to civilization if all else fails. So we're really looking forward to it. This is a challenging event, and if you've never done it, it should be something on your bucket list, and we're hoping to have a great time this year.